We want to welcome all of you today to Saturday's Story. This is going to be different today, but it's Thanksgiving, a time when we all gather together with our family and friends, and mostly people that gather together think about the food they're going to prepare and cook for Thanksgiving. And today I'm standing in my backyard in a green patch, a beautiful patch of mustard greens. And I'm picking these greens fresh from this garden today, and we're going to prepare them and give you a recipe that you will not want to miss. This recipe is beyond awesome. I usually don't give recipes away, folks, but listen to me. Listen to me now. I'm going to give you this recipe. This recipe will probably become a tradition to you if you like greens. Us country folks, we like greens, mustard greens. And it all begins. We have now here a very, very thick cooking pot. This pot here, I'm going to put a little cooking oil inside this pot. And what we will do here now, I have got cut up here. This is salt meat. It is salt pork. For the simple reason that, well, my mother, who was a dietitian 43 years, said these words: you have to put something good in to get something good out. So this salt meat will keep you from having to add a lot of salt. I don't like to add a lot of extra salt. I like it to sort of be natural, and there's nothing any more natural than this salt meat. And this Hormel salt meat is perfect. And what we will do here is we turn our stove on and get it a little hot where the oil will begin to get hot, and then we begin to put our salt meat in. And we put, I guess, probably an average of 6 to 8 pieces of salt meat in there. It pretty well covers the bottom of the pan. And once this gets to simmering, the secret is that you have to kind of watch it and keep it turned over. And when it starts getting a little brown, then we will begin to turn this over. And you don't want to overcook it at all. But what this is doing now, is pulling the flavor out of this salt meat into this cooking oil. And these greens, of course, will absorb all of that. And the flavor of this will go into it. Now, you stay with me, because this recipe, you're going to love me for this. This is really, really going to change some folks' cooking. You can hear the sizzle now. It's sizzling. Look at that. Oh, wow. Ooh, doesn't that look good? Wow. And there's something else. What I've done here now, is I've taken this is pork. I'm going to read this here. Smoked pork neck bones. I've took the smoked pork neck bones, and what we've done is put it in a pressure cooker. And we've covered it not with too much water now. People are prone to just put a lot of water, and it's just not that good. But just put you a little water in there with the pork neck bones, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. And what's happened is now I've got in there also some smoked turkey necks. The secret is smoked meat. You have to have the smoked meat. And what this does, the pressure cooker pulls all the nutrients and all the good smoked flavor out of the meat into the juice. So this is going to be some kind of good, folks. You just wait, you just hold on. It's going to be great. Now what we'll do here is we're fixing to start putting the greens on top. You can hear the sound. You can hear all of this. Mama D's helping me here now. And so She's a real helpmate when it comes to cooking. Now, I'm getting a little green everywhere here, but that's part of the process. As you can see, the greens look like they're going to be too many for the pot. But don't be fooled. It's going to all cook down. And when it cooks down, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be just right. You want to pour all the water in there and make sure that it's all in there. So a lot of times what I do is I let them cook down a little bit because I've got some more greens I'm going to put on there. I'm going to put this lid on there, and we're going to be back in just a moment to let you see exactly what this looks like and what we're doing and the process. This is one of our traditions that we do all through the fall time of year. Now, I know that most of you have traditions also. What are some of your traditions that you and your family like to cook? And so we cook and can some greens because when the icy winds begin to blow and there's really no gardens at all. So it really is good to go to the freezer and get fresh greens and cornbread and it's just wonderful. And if you're maybe a country individual, and a lot of you are more country than you think you are, and if you tasted this, I know you'd be country. Why, it'll turn you into country, this will. Now these greens, notice here, they have cooked down. Here they are. Now see, notice how full the pot was. Well, the pot's it's not near as full now. It's cooked down. Now what we're going to do here is I'm taking all the smoked meat and the hot liquor, and all of this is going inside this pot. Look at there. Look here. Woo! Look out now. This is going to be good, people. Lord have mercy. Look at all that smoked meat and those greens, and I'm just going to kind of hide them under there. We're going to play hide and seek with this greens and meat and just kind of put all of this under there and watch what happens, folks. You're not going to believe what's fixing to take place. Now, you got to understand this is a pretty big pot, and what we're going to do here is we've got some more greens we're going to put in here. Put them right in here on top of that. And so what will happen is all of this is going to cook down on top of that meat. And it won't be long. It won't be long. There's going to be a happening at the Dillon household and kitchen. So here we are. I'm just so glad that some of you are going to follow this recipe, and you're going to get some great results. So this is so powerful. So anyway, you may have to sort of come in here and just press this down. But what we're going to do is put the lid on, and we're going to let it cook, folks, because you're going to see something happen here shortly. It's really going to be good. So I want you to stay tuned for the end results, because the end results is really what it's all about. It's not he that starts, but how we finish. And so the finishing results of this recipe is going to be yum. Matter of fact, some of you are going to want to come to my house. I don't live too far from you, and so maybe you could just make a surprise visit and say, I smell those greens when I tune you in to Saturday's Story. I know you didn't, but you almost could, because when you think about this, you're going to say, wow, I'm going to follow that recipe. Just do it and see what happens. I know you're going to enjoy it. Folks, here we are now. We've come down to the final stage of this recipe, as you can see. But there's one thing, one ingredient that you must use to bring out the full flavor. There's some things that will activate. There are some things that will activate the fullness. And of course, with the greens, it's accent. With you and I, it is the spirit of gratitude. In Thanksgiving, please, let's be thankful. Thanksgiving and being thankful is like the accent. It brings out all of the nutrients and the goodness that we need. So you'll just whiten the top with the accent, and then you will just kind of stir it in. Where I got this from, folks, where I got this from was some years ago. My mother, who was a dietitian for 43 years, she would cook greens and I would go to her house, and hers would have a flavor that mine did not have. It just had that flavor. I can't explain it. Hers was better. And I said, you got to tell me, what is the secret, Mama? She said, honey, there are some ingredients that enhances. It brings out the flavor. She said, just whiten the top of your greens with the accent. And so it's just like I'm telling some of you, why don't you just have a spirit of thanksgiving and just whiten the top of your life with the goodness of God and let it accentuate and bring out all the flavor and goodness that God is trying to bring in all of our lives. I want to thank you today for tuning in. And I'm asking you to share this with someone. And let's all, as we gather with our family and our friends, let's have a spirit of thanksgiving. And let's bring out the good thing. And you can do it just like the recipe for the greens. Let's all get together and develop a tradition that will last and it will live. God love you today. Thank you for tuning in.